Those high rocks. You can jump from the cliff straight into the water.
I have 3 days to drive to the top of Scotland and to drive over the most dangerous road of the country. And to make it even more adventurous, I decide not to take the major road A9, but I choose the smallest roads straight through the Scottish Highlands. And small here really means small. This is a complete guide with all the highlights of the Scottish Highlands.
And he's gonna help me the next days. I'm driving in the city of Inverness, and this is the Ness, the river. The city is named after this river, and it derives from the famous Loch Ness. The first traces of Loch Ness. First stop, Foyers Bay. I'm halfway the lake now. I'm driving from north to south. And look, I'm driving for 30 minutes, and look, it is enormous. This is Loch Ness. You can't see the end of it, not even close. Look how enormous it is, and I can only show you this part. Just a little part of the lake. This is the other side of the Foyers Bay. I'm walking in a little forest. Look, there is a bridge here. This must be a little river, which ends in the Loch Ness Lake. This is quite a strong stream. I've been driving along the lake for 30 minutes or so, and I'm only halfway. And also the thing is, there are no bridges. So if you want to go to the other side of the lake, you need to drive all around it. And that's what I'm doing now, because I started in Inverness. I'm driving from north to south, and then I make the U-turn and I drive back northwards to the Scottish Highlands. The surroundings are beautiful. It's only nature, only trees. I haven't passed by villages or anything what looks like it. It's only the same as what you see here. Forests, pine trees, and a very big lake. And look how clear the water is. Alright, I'm going to continue another 15 or 20 minutes, I think, to the most southern part of the lake. See you there. It's very entertaining to drive here. The roads are very narrow. You go from bends from the left to the right. You go up, you go down. The roads are so narrow that there are places to stop if there is oncoming traffic. Otherwise, it's just too narrow for the two cars to pass. But things are happening all the time. And if not, there is the nature. I'm in Fort Augustus, and this is the most southern part of Loch Ness. Exactly this point here. It is unbelievable how big it is. As far as you can see, you see the lake. And what makes it different from a sea, for example, is that on the sides you have those mountains with the trees. So it's a very spectacular, different view. This is the village of Fort Augustus, and this water goes to Loch Ness. Everything goes here basically to Loch Ness. All those people are tourists. I'm just going to have my break here, and then I'm going to make the U-turn, and I'm going to have Loch Ness on my right side, and I'm driving all the way north to the middle of the Scottish Highlands. A lot of water here in Fort Augustus. Look, this is a dam. And there is another one which leads to Loch Ness in the background. And if I turn back, there is another one and another one. And behind that, another one. So there are like 5 dams here which lead to Loch Ness. And there on the other side, there is another lake. It just doesn't stop here, those lakes. Look, there are the boats. And this is the other side of the dams. But it takes ages to get a boat to Loch Ness, no? Because there are like 5 dams. And they all have to wait for the water all the time. I left Loch Ness behind me. And I'm on my way to the highest part of the Highlands. But still, we haven't had enough water today, I think, because there's a lot of water to come. Look at this. Bit by bit, I'm getting closer to my end destination, which is a very special place. It's very high in the Highlands. And if we look that way in the far, we see the North Sea. Look at that, what a spectacular view. Beautiful purple landscape. In the far we see the North Sea, and above the sea there is a lot of rain. Those clouds are dropping a lot of rain. Wow, it's fantastic to see from this distance. Wow, the landscape is changing dramatically right now. All of a sudden it's wide fields, very spacious grass fields. The sun behind the clouds is raining a bit. And on the other side, there is the rainbow. Fantastic weather spectacle here in the Scottish Highlands. And look at the dark clouds on that side. Sun, rain, and as a result, the rainbow here in the Scottish Highlands. But look at the landscape. The beautiful brown grass fields. Shining in the sun. Oh man, I can't emphasize enough how spectacular this road trip is. The changing colors all the time is wonderful. Look, now in the back it's all purple. And on top of that, all of a sudden in the background there is a mountain visible with snowtops. With the clouds on the background. What a view! The more north I drive, the smaller the roads are. There are those passing places, like here, but otherwise it's way too small for 2 cars.
My blood alcohol or rock with all the burnouts in the cell. Change my faith, I'll praise the facts. Wait, I swear she'll call me back. Son, are you a danger to yourself? Desert, you take the call. Give you my blood alcohol. Rock with all the burnouts in the cell.
Yes, I finally arrived at my accommodation. So tonight I'm going to stay in one of those pots. Look at that. And this one is mine. Now let's have a look inside. Or first of all, the terrace. It's a bit cold now to sit outside, but otherwise you can sit here, have your breakfast or dinner, and this is your view. Let's check out the inside. This is it. I feel like I'm in a fairy tale because this house, it's not straight, but you see it's bending, it's oval. It's big enough. I think it's 2.50 meters high. And there's a bed. Here is the table for breakfast. And there is a little kitchen, so you can cook stuff here. There's also a little shop here where you can buy your things there in the caravan. And there's a fridge, a microwave, a heater for if it's getting cold. And you know my accommodation is with breakfast included. It's a full Scottish breakfast, that is, as he said, with eggs, with some cheese, bread, and this is mushrooms. Mushrooms and tomato. Look at that, a full Scottish breakfast. Sausages, ham. And this is the cooker. Yeah, behind this door, the bathroom. And this is quite small, look at that. Look at the angle. The left side is straight, but the right side is oval. There is a little space, but they warn you for that. Look, it's good enough, it's high enough. I perfectly fit here. I'm slim, but if you're a big guy, you need to squeeze in a bit. Very nice place. This is what I'm looking for, a small, cozy place, just for one night. I don't need much, I need a bed, that's it. But preferably in a nice environment. And that's what I found here. Look, if I open my window on the bedside, this is my view. And in the morning when I wake up, this is the view on the other side. It's a very nice compact pot. It's just big enough, and also it looks nice. The colors are nice. Blue in front. And look, it's quite well isolated, or it's at least a little bit isolated, with nice green color. And this is the backside. And look at my garden. Ha! And this is the barbecue place. Look. There is an actual barbecue where you can make fire. Picnic tables. Here is the shop. So he told me there is food you can buy and you can prepare it yourself, because I'm really in the middle of nowhere here, so there is nothing. There are no shops here. So if you come without food, then you really need to buy something here. Otherwise there's nothing. It's still light, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to walk up the hill to see what's there. Ah, look. There is also a second fire pit. This one is indoor. There's a barbecue here, chairs, a fire pit, a lot of booze. What else do you expect from the Scottish? I'm walking up the hill and it's getting darker and darker, but I'm surrounded by purple plants. Or brown, bronze-ish, but they look purple from distance. Right, I'm walking to the top of the hill to see if there's a nice view on the other side. Oh, there's water here. Shit. A little water stream here. Yes. Look, that's a good sign. I climbed to the top of the hill. This is the view. It looks like an endless meadow. I would like to continue, but it's getting dark. There in the background, you can see the pots. The lights are on, standing quietly next to each other. Is it expensive to stay here? I paid £60 and it's one of the cheapest places I could find here in the whole of the Highlands. But what you get for it is a unique experience. Wow, I've had an amazing day and this is a suitable ending. I'm going to prepare my dinner here and enjoy the peaceful surroundings here in the Highlands. Starting in Inverness today, driving south all the way to the south of Loch Ness, and after that just north to almost the highest point. Not yet though, but tomorrow is going to be even more spectacular, because now I'm in the middle of it. Tomorrow the views and the wildlife is going to be spectacular. I'm gonna see big lakes again and rivers, but that's for tomorrow. I'm in the middle of the Scottish Highlands. Whoa! I'm getting dizzy. I'm going to drive straight through the country. Whoa, now this is a waterfall! I'm going to drive to the most northern part of the Scottish Highlands. For the first time today we can see the coast. And the end destination is the wild coast of Durness. The most northern part of Scotland. This is not what you expect. But before that we're going to see a lot of natural highlights. Starting at Loch Ness I. This is what happens if you drive too fast in the Highlands. I wanted to stop exactly here because... oh, there is water here. I need to pass. Ah. Yes. Wow, this is so eye-catching. Look at the colors. The colors of the grass. It's like brown, yellow, and the bronze plants. Yeah, I wanted to stop exactly here because I found this very unstable bridge. Look. this bridge. And look what's written here. Private bridge for the use of a river naval fishermen only. Persons using this bridge do so entirely at their own risk. What that exactly means, I don't know. But I'm gonna try it. Whoa, it is indeed a bit unstable. Huh. Alright, if something goes wrong now, I'm fucked. Ah, I'm getting dizzy when I'm looking downwards in the water. And the streaming is quite high. I'm halfway. So, what should I do? I continue. Let's go. Ah, it is moving quite a lot. From left to right and up and down. Whoa! Alright, I made it. Look at that. There's a rough stream. The water goes quick. It would be very nice to kayak here. All the way to the North Sea. And the problem with this bridge is I need to go back. Ha! Oh man. If you walk over it, you have the feeling that the bridge is moving, not the water. Whoa. It is actually moving, but I mean more than it actually does. Whoa, fuck. Look at that. Yeah, I'm back on land. Look. And I'm going to follow the river now. This way. This is the lake. It is enormous. It's not as big as Loch Ness where I was yesterday, but the width is the same. It's like hundreds of meters. But it goes all the way there. But I stopped at this spot because this is beautiful. A grass field next to the river where the sheep are grazing. Look, the water is clear, crystal clear. It's quiet here. The mountains disappear in the clouds. And I'm going to drive that way to the right. I'm going to follow the lake all the way to the North Sea. That's the most north part of the Scottish Highlands, and that's exactly where I'm going. And this lonely tree hanging just above the water. Wow, the sun is peeking out. It's raining a little bit, it's cloudy, and the sun is reflecting in the lake. Look at that. Fantastic view. Look at this mountain. The color. It's covered in red bronze plants everywhere. Those changing colors is wow, beautiful. It gives an extra dimension to the whole experience. I'm making a little detour. I'm driving to Sjoerd, that's on the north coast. I need to go to the north coast anyway, but this is more east. I just want to drive around and I saw there are two islands in front of the coast. So I'm gonna have a look. Oh, for the first time today we can see the coast. Look there. Look at this view. There is the end of the river, this lake. And then there you see the first sandbank. But behind it, there is the actual sea. And on the right, the mountains. I can hear the waves breaking into the rocks. I drove to the coast and wow, look at this fantastic view. I'm here like in the middle of it on this pier. There is the beach. It's a stony beach. But look at that. Look at those views. Those high rocks. You can jump from the cliff straight into the water. There on that side as well. And that there actually is, I think, where I need to go. Somewhere there. That's my end destination, Durness. It's very remarkable how not windy it is here. Because I'm just on a wall in the sea, in an open landscape, at the coast, and there's no wind. Only a lot of sun. I'm driving to the next peninsula now. It's a lot of water here everywhere. Look at this. The bridge just over the water. A very nice bridge though, with those stone fences. And here, beach on the left side. Look at that. So the north of Scotland consists of lots of peninsulas, and I'm driving from one to another. That there is the land I need to be. On that side is Durness. But as you see, here are no bridges. So I need to drive all around it. And look at this is very remarkable. There is this brown, bronze landscape everywhere here, those plants, and then all of a sudden there is a big forest. Like a strip of green paint. It's like a painter who wants to create something artistic. And it works because it's nice. With the mountain that disappears in the clouds on the background. And just in front of me, a stone beach. But I'm gonna drive further because we're gonna see sandy beaches as well here. Beautiful sandy beaches in the north of Scotland. Finally, the beach! Look at that! The most northern part of Scotland, and this is not what you expect. A nice sandy beach. It's nice, but well, there is a bit too much seaweed on the beach, but other than that, wow, this is very nice. Also the surroundings. It's a very wide beach between two cliffs. It looks very nice, and in the background, green mountains. Beautiful. And the water is quite rough, there are quite high waves, and it's not even windy. So can you imagine how rough the sea is when there is a lot of wind, when there is a storm here? But there is no wind at all. It's a pity that the weather changed, because it starts raining now a little bit and it's cloudy, very cloudy. But otherwise, if it's sunny here, wow, it looks even more beautiful. And I would even go for a swim, because this is very tempting to swim, even if it's cold. Not that cold. It's the north of Scotland, but still it's, I don't know, 10 degrees maybe. Wow, and those giant cliffs, literally on the beach. Man, I would love to climb on it and jump in the water. But the water is not deep enough here, I think. But can have a look if I can reach. Oh, the water is coming. Woo! Fuck. I want to see if I can climb on the cliff when there's no water here, like now. Now it's dry for 5 seconds. Let's see if we can climb. We can watch around the corner. Wow, and look at the colors. It looks like it's painted. It's black, a red brown, but very sharply done. Wow. I'm climbing on the cliff now to see how far I can go. If there is a nice place to go higher. Whoa. I think I've reached the end already. I can't go further, neither can I go higher. The water is coming. Woo. And if you don't like sandy beaches, there's also grass. Last stop before I reach my beautiful accommodation. Look at this waterway. It's a waterway, the last part to the sea. Very nice between the cliffs. But what's even nicer is the other side. Look at that. There is a big cave, the Smoo Cave as it's called. And that's where the water comes from. It is a really big cave. Whoa. Look how deep it is and how big. It's cold here, but this gives me an exotic feeling. If you look at the walls, they're green, very nice green rocks. I'm walking to the middle of the cave and it's, wow, mind-blowing. It's huge. Huh. Look at this. I put some lights there, otherwise it would be very dark here. And in the middle of this cave there is a hole. And the hole looks a bit like, well, you can use your own imagination. This is what happens after millenniums of erosion. Whoa! Look at this. This looks like a cave in Jurassic Park. Big dark cave with green plants on the rocks. I picture a big bird flying out of the cave right now. As you can hear, there is a big water stream. It's not just a stream, but there is a waterfall here in the middle of the cave on this side. Wow, now this is a waterfall. This is not just peeing in the toilet. Oh. What a gigantic amount of water. And I wonder where it comes from. So maybe we can go upstairs to see where the water goes down. I found the source of the waterfall. It's here. I knew that would be a source. This is the river coming from the highlands. And look, here it's going down. I've arrived at my hotel on a hill here in Durness. Finally. And in front of the house there is a terrace with view over the sea. And I can hear the waves from here. 2 couches, the table, and the whole thing, the whole building is made from wood. That makes it very cozy. There is a shared kitchen and also shared bathrooms. That is here. Look, a very narrow wooden hallway, which leads to my room, which is this one. This is it. My God, it's the smallest room I've ever stayed in. Look. That just fits. It just fits one bed, and this is to put my suitcase on the ground. That's it. I paid £100 for the 2 nights, and they even give me a little discount, so usually it would be even a bit more. But I'm very happy to stay here. But this was literally the last room I could find in the whole region of Durness. And I really wanted to stay here because, well, as you've seen today, it's really nice. And tomorrow I'm going to discover even more things. And well, the nicest part of this hotel is obviously the view. Altogether, it's a simple place, like small rooms, simple rooms, not private. But for 2 nights, it's okay because otherwise I couldn't stay here. The lady told me there is a pub 5 minutes that way, so that's where I'm going to spend my time after a day with many highlights. I drove through beautiful natures. We saw a huge, impressive cave, a beautiful beach, and now it's time to process all that in a bar with a good beer. 17% downhill. I'm in Durness, the very north of Scotland, and there you can see the sea. You don't expect this in Scotland. Look at the water, it's emerald green. It's a beautiful day. Whoa, now this is what I call a waterfall. And I'm going to drive to one of the most beautiful islands of the country. This one is going to help me today. That there in the back is Handa Island. It looks deserted. And there are boats in the water. And here is the pier. But I don't see a ferry. I think it's closed. This here is the ferry house. Handa Ferry. But it looks... Shit, I knew that, but now I've seen it with my own eyes. But here I can see the beach of Handa Island, and that's the dock of the ferry. And look at this. These are the cliffs on Handa Island. I've read they're 100 meters high. And look at this beach. And it's the same weather as today. And there are lots of seabirds like these. Or this one. Let's check out the beach. Oh, there is a lot of seaweed, look. The only ship that's authorized to go to the Handa Island is the ferry. So other boats can't go there. And here it's the end of the pier, but it's underwater. Look how clear the water is. Oh, there is fish. The sun is still behind the mountains and it's really too cold. But otherwise I would jump into the water. So yeah, that's the disadvantage. If you go to the Scottish Highland the end of October, many things are closed because it's out of the season. Yesterday I wanted to go to Cape Wrath. But it was closed. There was also a ferry, but the ferry was closed. Today the ferry is closed. And those are the nicest things to do here. That means that I'm setting off for plan B. And that is the Dunberg Loop. And that is one of the most impressive driving experiences in the whole of Europe. Alright, I turned right. And this is the start of the Dunberg Loop. 25% here. I really need to drive carefully here because it's very sharp bends all the time, from left to right, up and down. 25% here, downhill. This part, look at that, and look in the far, from left to right. I need to be focused here more than ever. Whoa. And also in the bends, they are, you know, diagonal. Turn to the left, to the right. Oh. Oh, this is very steep up. It's really difficult to estimate the speed you drive because you go from left to right and you go down and up. You know, it's a real mountain driving experience. I can't drive too fast here. I would like to for the experience, but better not to. Look, goes all the way up, down, left, right. I can't see what's coming, like here for example. Here I can. Look at those bands. Hairpin bands. 180 degrees.
Playing cops and robbers now, whips up, copping them, champagne popping them, hands in the air like who's got a problem? This one coming like a scary movie. This one for the OGs and the juvies. Who's that bringing the vibe? It's yours truly. And if you don't like me, then sue me. Catch me, it ain't wise, okay? I don't know what they told you, but I ain't the one.
17% downhill.
I don't sit around with the lip balm. DJ play one for the bad man. DJ play one for the ladies. Said go on and the crowd go crazy. I wanna wave who's trying to. Absolute tune. It's Sammy Virgie, Skepta, Cops and Robbers on BBC Radio 1. And right now it's time to play.
First stop. I am in the village of Drumback now. And here is a beautiful viewpoint. I've climbed a lot here to reach this point. And this is the view. Maybe we can even see Handa Island from here. Well, not one of these ones, but maybe there on the right. Beautiful view, those islands in front of the coast. And on the left side, the open sea. Second stop, Loch Ness I beach. A beautiful abandoned beach. There's nobody here. Well, it's not summer, but the sun is peeking out. If it's a nice day, this looks like a very proper beach. Or a bit too much seaweed. But I'm not here for the beach, because here on the other side are the Loch Ness I waterfalls. That's where I'm heading to. This water goes to the sea. So this water must come from the Loch Ness I falls. I only have to follow this stream. Ah, I can already see it in the far. I need to cross the water now, but it's not a proper bridge. So this is how they invented their own bridge. Mission accomplished. Whoa, now this is what I call a waterfall. Look at this. 10, 20 meters high. And I can feel the water, actually. Oh, this is a big one. Look. Oh, it's windy here. Let's see if I can get closer. Oh, what a shitload of noise. Look at that. I'm getting completely wet here. But what a spectacular waterfall. Amazing. It's very nice to see the waterfall and the sun just behind it. You see that? What a natural phenomenon. And this is where it goes. And there in the back you see the sea. The landscape changed a lot now. All of a sudden it has become very rocky. There are big rocks on both sides of the roads. I'm halfway the Drumback Loop, and after that I'm going to my end destination, which is Ullapool. It's a nice small fisherman's village, and that's where I have my accommodation. Very nice accommodation. But before that I hope to see some nice things, views, beaches, anything.
Hold tight, it's about time. We gon' unwind, let it all flow. Give me waterfall. Here we go, get in that zone. Let it all flow. Give me waterfall. Give me waterfall. Give me waterfall.
You don't expect this in Scotland, but there are so many nice, beautiful beaches. Look at this one. Beautiful, white, sandy beach. And in the background, just dunes. And the water, it's unbelievable. Look at the water, it's emerald green. Very clear, emerald green water. And there is a camping. It is very windy here, but if the weather is nice, this is paradise. And this view, with the rocks in front and the open sea behind. I climbed here on the rocks, so we can see the water better from above. Look at the color. And look at the beach. A European paradise. And the dunes and the grass fields in the background. Last stop before Ullapool. I'm driving along a very big loch again. It's huge and it's very special. Look at this, trees in the water. How tall are the trees? Or it's just flooded landscape. And there are big mountains in the background. And the one there is with snow. Now there are 3 different landscapes here in this loch, around this loch. Do you recognize them? I've arrived in Ullapool, my final destination. A little fisherman's village. This is the harbor. Look, all the seagulls flying above their prey. Wow, there are a lot here. And this is the other side of the street. Little white houses. Look how nice, floating in the air against the wind. Because there is a lot of wind here. And there are two very old fisherman boats. Many tourists stay here. It's not a very special place, it's not a very nice place. It's just those nice white houses. But the thing what makes it unique is the view. The view over the very big lake. And in the background you see the mountains with snow tops. The ones there. The Argyle Hotel. This is my accommodation. This is the entrance. And they like to welcome you with a good whiskey, as you can see. Sitting on this nice old chair. My room is on the second floor. Look, and they have this nice old Scottish pattern. Looks a bit old here. But this is a very nice room. Nice big bed. It's warm here. It smells good. It's cozy. And they welcome you with water. You can make tea. Here's the bathroom. Well, that's something else. That's quite cold, white, and not very stylish. But the nicer thing in the room is when I open the curtains. Spectacular view, apart from the cables. They also have a bar / restaurant. Again with this Scottish pattern. And this looks very cozy. Good music playing. Here you can play darts. It is warm here, it feels warm here, and it looks warm here. And on the other side, this is where you order. Gentlemen, this is the bar. And on the other side is also something nice. This is the playroom. You can play pool with a big pint of Tennant. Long tables. And of course a leather chair. And they even have a terrace, which looks quite nice. High tables, low tables. But well, that's not really for now. Altogether, very decent hotel. It's not the most luxurious one, but the room is good. And also the bar is nice. The restaurant is nice. They have pub food like hamburgers, fish and chips, those kind of things. That's what I'm going to try later. Also, breakfast is included. And all this for £65. Now, that is not expensive for what it is. If you travel to Ullapool, I can recommend this place. And I'm going to have a beer now and some food, and tomorrow I'm driving back where I started, to Inverness.